So something I get asked quite a lot about is, so what is coaching? And when we think of coaching very much almost as a style that we choose to adopt. What I mean by that is that coaching is about helping the individual that you are working with to find their own answers, to unlock hidden potential, and also to find their own route forward. And the way that we do that is by asking questions, by listening so intently, and really helping that individual to find their own route forward. If you imagine when you've solved a problem by yourself, as opposed to somebody giving you the answer, you learn all these new skills in a way that you can solve problems in the future. It builds resilience, it creates empowerment, it creates confidence. So in that respect, coaching becomes so powerful. And actually it becomes something that you can do with others. And also you can adopt a coaching style that you can use on yourself to help you to solve your own problems and your own issues moving forward. So incredibly, incredibly powerful. So I mentioned that coaching was a style. Now, what I mean by that is if we were to look and see coaching in action, we might see it in various different ways. One way might be what we deem as a traditional style of coaching, where two individuals, one being the coach, one being the coachee, are in a private area where the coach is asking questions, listening to the coachee, and helping them to find their own solutions. The second way that we see a lot of and that leaders adopt and use so regularly is coaching as a leadership style. And this might be where somebody comes to your desk and says, I've got this going on. And as opposed to giving them the answer, what we do is we simply ask them a question such as, okay, so what might you try? What have you done in the past? And really unlocking that person's potential by using a coaching style. And that way it still builds the individual's empowerment, it builds their confidence for solving situations, and it helps them to recognize that actually by asking themselves these questions, they are able to really think about what I can do with this situation. So coaching as a style almost becomes a choice. Whereas for some leaders, they choose to think about, I will be coaching more often than I'm going to be giving answers. And in fact, actually, we really thoroughly recommend that because it helps individuals and it really creates even more time for a leader to focus on other stuff such as strategic thinking and time to think. So let's consider that we want to adopt a coaching style even more every day. Where do we start? What do we think about? One thing is to consider the mindset that you choose. So the mindset would be actually, how can I be even more curious? How can I ask more and tell less? And the techniques that we might see going on day to day is use of more open questions. Really considering the listening that we are demonstrating to individuals and taking that mindset of pure curiosity and a belief that says that individual can find their own answer and they have it inside of them. Okay, so we've now got to the point where we're choosing to adopt a coaching style even more. In itself, that's amazing, isn't it? Because if you think back to where we started, that is helping individuals find their own answers, be the best version of themselves, and create an empowered environment where people choose to think about how they can approach things and they think things through for themselves. One of the things that we can also do is we can use coaching as a self-coaching style. So imagine it. We start to use coaching as an approach with others. They then start to ask themselves coaching questions to solve their own problems. And that creates this whole environment where people truly are living and breathing as their own internal coaches as well. Imagine what that can do when you and your people start to choose to do that even more. Okay, so if I was to recommend a really great starting point, one thing I'd do is I'd just ask everybody just to remember that we are conditioned to ask questions as humans. Think back to when we're really young or when you've got young kids. Questions like, why are we doing that? Where are we going? What's happening over here? Children ask amazing questions. So almost we need to get that curiosity back to ask more open questions. If you like to read something or you like your audiobooks, a book I thoroughly recommend is this one, Coaching for Performance by Sir John Whitmore. So John Whitmore is considered one of the founders of a brilliant coaching technique called GROW, which is all about helping people to identify their goals, identify the reality that they're in right now, think about the options that they might choose in the way that they want to approach those goals, and then think about drawing it all together in how they wrap it all up. So about the willingness to do it and when they're going to do it. This book is so powerful in helping us to understand how we can use coaching every day in our lives and also self-coaching techniques. So Sir John Whitmore, Coaching for Performance, thoroughly recommend that as a starting point.